Well, ladies and gentlemen, the return of the most expensive fucking tank in all of World of Tanks Blitz history is amongst us again. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Chieftain prototype. Boy, oh boy, why? Wargaming, why is this even here? You already introduced this freaking tank in this draw. Why are you introducing it again? For God's sake. Are you serious? Why? The whole freaking community already blew up about this tank being released in the stupid, absolutely idiotic draw. And you bring it back? You know what? I blame the player base. All those whales that are spending ridiculous amounts of money on draws like this. You guys are the ones to blame here. You guys got literally no one to blame but yourselves. There's only so much that I can talk shit about Wargaming about and just call them out on their absolute BS monetization like this right here. But it's people like you guys, you whales, who are spending way too much money on Blitz that give Wargaming the false impression that they can actually do this, that they're allowed to do this without any consequences whatsoever. This is bullshit, man. I still can't believe they thought it was a good idea to reintroduce something that literally everyone despised. I just don't understand why this is a thing. For those of you who don't remember, or for those of you perhaps where you may not know what's going on. By the way, just excuse that ridiculous racket behind me. That was a Toyota 86 or a Subaru BRZ or a Scion FRS if you want to be pedantic, those American viewers out there. Yeah, that guy's got a really stupid fart can exhaust and yeah, the car sounds like shit. Anyway, but I'm not driving, I'm just sitting in my car. I've just come in and sat in my car. For those of you, again, who don't know what this tank is, this is the most expensive tank ever introduced into Blitz. And to give you some context on what this tank is, don't get me wrong, the tank itself is actually pretty nice. It's a very nice tank. It performs really, really well. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's basically a T9 Chieftain Mark 6. It is what it is. The only difference is that it has the same kind of gun that the Chieftain Mark 6 originally had, which had the two APCR shells rather than the APCR and the HESH shell. So that's the difference right there. So obviously this does not have a HESH gun. Technically speaking, it does have HESH. It's got cheap HESH like the FV215B. So you do have 110 mils of penetration on your cheap HESH rounds. Again, it is a very nice tank and it has a really cool camouflage, but for the money that you need to spend in order to guarantee that you get this freaking tank is absolutely stupendous. It's a ridiculous amount. Look at what it says down below. 1,160,250 gold. That's how much you can get from this draw. Now, if you were to go into the gold section here to buy gold bundles in order to get these tickets, all right, this is how much you're going to get. So if I buy... Sorry, no, not the gold bundles. I have to buy the tickets themselves. Where are these tickets? Here we go. There we are. There are our beautiful tickets right there. Look at that. Look at that. $120 for 100 tickets. Now, how many tickets do we need to get? Let's see. Let us see how many we need. Oh, no, don't do that. All right, well, technically we can calculate this. 500, 500, 500, 500. That's 2,000 right there. Straight off the bat, that's 2,000. Plus by 10. So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that gives you the idea there. 2,025. Pretty crazy number there. That is a pretty crazy number. You need to do this draw 2,025 times in order to get yourself the Chieftain prototype. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, you have to spend a stupid amount of money in order to get the tank. Now, if my calculations from previously are correct, then you can almost guarantee the tank is going to cost $2,000. $2,000. Just like it did when it was originally released. My message to Wargaming is, why the frick do you think, or why the avocado frick do you think this is a good idea to reintroduce the tank in the same freaking gold draw that you guys originally introduced it in? It's literally a been there, done that situation. You should have learned from the beginning and from the get-go that no one is going to be stupid enough to try and complete the draw in its entirety. And then again, I say that, and I know some people who did do the draw in its entirety. Someone did spend $2,000 to get this ridiculous tank. Yeah, there are people out there that actually did it. So my imagination to this, or I imagine what's happened here is, someone has decided that they were going to try and get the tank, and so they did. And they failed. Miserably. They failed miserably. And so they kept doing it and doing it and doing it until eventually they found out that they spent $2,000 and they got the tank. Whoop-de-doo, you got the tank. Fantastic. Does that justify the fact that it's in a freaking draw again? And it's the main prize and you have to spend $2,000 to get it? Absolutely not. But again, I say this with all heart. There's only so much that I can, shit talk about Wargaming. There's only so much that I can say about Wargaming in this situation without mentioning all the whales who happily spend a ridiculous amount of money on the game. My message to all of you players are, if you're thinking of spending money, don't. If you think that you can get this tank by simply spending your hard-earned money on this, please, for the love of God, don't. I want to reiterate, I'm not advocating for people to not spend money. I'm not telling you people, I'm not telling you to boycott Wargaming. I'm just saying, please do not spend $2,000 of your money or your parents' money on a stupid pixel tank, for God's sake. Please don't be that stupid. You want to spend $100 or $120 on like 100 tickets to try your luck and maybe get a bunch of gold out of it? Go right ahead. Be my guest. No one's stopping you. Maybe you'll be lucky. You'll get 100,000 gold. Who knows? Maybe you'll get 50,000 gold. Maybe you get 10,000 gold. Who knows? My point I'm trying to make is, please just be logical about this. Clearly, it's illogical to even consider that this is a reasonable offer, because it is not a reasonable. I didn't even want to make a video about this. I was here to make a video about the 60TP. And instead, I'm forced to make a video about this because, well, it just popped up in my feed. I had to talk about it. It's literally a talking point. It's ridiculous. I was not expecting to see this tank once again be released in the same bloody draw again. I guess I was wrong. Who knows? I guess that's just the way the universe works. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I beg of you, just be smarter than this, okay? Look after yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Look after your friends and family. By the way, can I just mention, that gold vein container has a 0.001% chance of dropping. That is a stupidly low drop chance. So now you know why you need to spend $2,000 to get the bloody tank. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Look after your friends and family. Peace in the Middle East and everywhere else in this beautiful world. And as always, stay safe on the battlefield. And please, for the love of God, save your money. Do not spend $2,000 on this. Go buy yourself a car or something. All right, I'm out. Bye-bye.